I'm good at this.
I know you are.
Check my mic 1 and 2. I think my levels are decent. I would add more bass to yours, but I think you're covered on that.
Yeah, I'm bassy.
Get up on it.
Hello, folks.
Yeah, it works. Okay, I'm just gonna go in and out with headphones. We're not doing headphones. The last time we did this, the goddamn Ben and his technical abilities. Yeah. So, I think we're good on audio.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Yeah, we're good on audio.
How much shit did you have to step over to get in here?
12 cords.
Aside from the cords.
27 beer cans and other things. Sometimes they're
wrapping paper.
And wrapping paper.
Christmas Eve. We just sent the family on their way.
Yeah, that was a fun time.
Yeah, I don't like any of them.
I didn't think so, and actually most of them can't stand you either, so.
That's not what you said. That's not what they said either.
I know that.
So what are you drinking? Because we're gonna have ourselves a Christmas Eve toast. Well, maybe not a toast. I don't do toast.
I rarely buy this. I used to buy it frequently, but the problem was that when I bought this stuff for Christmas cheer or daily cheer, I found myself heavily indulging, and I would wake up with a horrendous headache. But you know, back in the days, I had a doctor that back in the day
he told you that was the medicine you needed.
No, he gave me the remedies.
Water.
Never add sugar to your drink. He said that was like stepping into a friend's house, messing around with his wife, and then getting your ass kicked.
No, really?
Yeah.
You had a doctor who's like, if you really want to know how to drink, here's what you gotta do. Where'd you go? Where's your doctor?
What he would tell you is, when you go to bed, drink a lot of water.
Of course.
Take a couple of aspirins.
Aspirin with alcohol? Well, I mean, doesn't that thin your blood even further?
You go to bed. This is for the hangover.
This is after drinking, but I mean, you've already thinned your blood out a lot with the alcohol, and then you take aspirin. Doesn't that thin your blood out more?
Okay, I guess you could take Tylenol. I don't give a damn what you take.
I don't know what you
told me to take a couple of aspirins.
So you get yourself some, this is what to do. You get yourself some pineapple juice, you get your ibuprofen, some heroin.
Yeah.
And then,
well, anyway, he said if you had an oxygen tank, it would be.
What was your doctor's name? Was it Dr. Johnson?
I could state his name, but that could be really bad for his life.
I know everybody wants to hear the remedy. I'm just having fun with it.
Okay.
So, because it worked apparently.
A glass
Careful
of
with that
water,
cord, because you know my equipment's really shoddy in here.
Glass of water, couple of aspirins. Take like 2 ounces of orange juice for natural sugar. Never drink your alcohol with real sugar. And that's the one that's the killer in the hangover.
So you said natural. Take natural, but not real. So that's confusing. So you mean sugar derived from fruit is fine, or something to that effect, but and don't take it from like soda.
Never. So when you take it from soda.
I was talking with somebody about that the other day. They were like, they told me about how much whiskey they drank one night, and I was like, Jesus Christ. Because if I drink a bunch of whiskey, I feel like shit. It gives me a horrible hangover.
And what did you mix it with? Coke?
Yeah, absolutely. 9 times out of 10.
That's exactly the point he was making.
Yeah.
Never mix your alcohol with those created sugar or those natural sugars like Coke, Pepsi, oh God, I don't know.
You don't have to name. We're not. See, okay, so Pepsi,
I used to be a
Coke?
bartender, and I could tell you how to make 49 drinks, and you'll never.
We're sitting at a
taste
bar
sugar.
right now. Everybody knows that we know what we're doing.
Okay. I used to be good.
So no soda, fruit juice, natural fruit juice if you're drinking, and then also supplement it with water. And then before you go to bed, water, 2, what you say, aspirin, and what else?
That's the hard part. I can't remember if it was a butt up your plug or what it was.
Well,
But no.
you don't drink like you did in your early days either, so it's
That's
kind of hard.
probably a good thing.
Yeah.
The house is still standing.
Yeah, it'd be a complete shit show in here. What's Santa Claus bringing you?
So far, he brought me a whole bunch of love and a whole bunch of family that I had more fun with than anybody could ever imagine. And I have to say, I rarely see my daughter. And you know what? That is one of the most lovely people in this world. And people can say that about their children, and for different reasons, but my reasons are different.
Mm-hmm.
She is just full of herself. I mean, not herself, full of the family, and just so sweet and kind. And in my mind, one of the prettiest little girls that ever lived.
I'm gonna second that. Yeah, she's awesome.
Why? You think you're... I didn't call her.
No, I said I'm gonna second that.
Oh, okay.
And she's lined it up with people that are just as cool as she is.
Yes.
And I, as far as I'm not gonna say it. Never mind.
No, say it.
Well,
Hey,
no. I was gonna talk about
pull
like
the string out of your nose and say it.
no her daughter is so unique compared to the rest of them.
Yes.
And like in an awesome way. No, which I think is it's one of the coolest things. It's like I don't know how to explain it. It's just one of those things, and you can pick up on that kind of stuff from people.
That's why I pick up on the whole thing about her comrade, her husband.
Awesome as all hell.
Oh my gosh. The beauty of life is when you can actually look into a family's situation when you're around them, and maybe not enough, but when you can actually look and feel the tenderness of somebody that is your daughter's husband, the father of your granddaughter, and you can look into his eyes and you can hear his comments and you can just watch his nature. And when you realize that this guy is so tender, but he looks like he could throw you against the wall, throw you out of the brick wall in your house and kill you in an instant, but there's none of that in him. Tenderness, tenderness, tenderness. And hopefully, in the end of my life, I hope for the rest of my kids, they find that type of venue, that they can find somebody that trusts, somebody that believes, and somebody that will always, always be there for you.
Yeah, see, we're still pumped on...
See, now I know I'm getting emotional.
No. Clearly, it's the time of the year to do that. We're still pumped up on the fact that because I don't get to see them as, I maybe more or probably more than you, but not very often as far as those guys. But we're still all pumped up on, that gathering we had today, and it was small. It was just us, shooting the shit. Played some foosball with a couple of my niece and my nephew, and I won one game, but I'm not going to talk about the other one. But how about that other shithead, huh? I'm just kidding.
What shithead?
The other dude that came over. To hell with him, right?
Which other dude?
But his name's Frank. There was daughter 1, son 1.
Oh.
That shithead.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
You know, he tries to mess with me every time he moves across the mic.
So let's
I sometimes think that farts come out of his brain and he has nothing to say. So he...
No, I don't. So what I do is I just kind of, and then, you know, I'll trip over a bunch of stuff. But while we're gushing about people, that other dude, doesn't he look like Tom Cruise? I mean, you wouldn't see it.
Are you talking about my son?
Who the fuck did you think I was talking about?
God, I didn't have a clue. The goddamn guy, I swear to God, if he walked across a screening for a film of some type, they'd scarf him up, they'd have him naked in bed with every beautiful star in America, and it would be a disaster because everybody would know who he was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
so we're done gushing about our beautiful.
We're not using any names.
So you've got a beautiful daughter, you got one beautiful son. There's 2 other ones you haven't talked about. Let's hear about those guys.
The one is somebody that told me is cuter than a cup of punch or something. I don't know.
I think I know who that one is.
I think it's you.
Yeah.
The other one is Mr.
But he gets mistaken for me sometimes, and I get mistaken for him.
Oh, God. Till somebody fixed his teeth. He got mistaken for Dracula.
Oh, fuck off. Why are you going to say shit like that? No. Okay, there's not a better personality in the world than him.
Absolutely not.
But I mean, that's okay. I gotta leave that one on the table, but then also add something to it, because that's something you say about girls that you think are ugly. Is she had a great personality? No, dude's not ugly.
No, I never said that about him.
No, I'm just no. What I'm saying is because of just the personality comment. God damn it, you're sinking.
I'm sinking?
Yeah, it's my mic stand.
I've been doing that all my life.
It's my mic stands, but anyhow, let's get off it. We're still high from
move on.
We're still high from the get together with the family. Not to mention
down and
so this is Johnny Walker Red Label.
Yeah,
with a splash of water and a splash of lemon.
Correct.
And it's actually good. It's a sip and drink. Don't be chugging these fuckers. You'll die.
Well, you do it when you're losing money in Wendover.
All right. So,
I only buy scotch when I have occasions. I used to buy it when I wanted to get blasted. But I found out that it's one of them drinks that when you wake up, it's kind of like somebody set off a bomb like they used in Hiroshima in your brain, or Nagasaki. But when you treat it like a beautiful lady and you just sip it.
Like you sip a... Okay.
You might lick some off your lip.
Oh, Jesus. It's always great to hear your dad say that.
God, you know, the crappy part about these podcasts that he does is he brings out the filth in the old man.
It's not the podcast that does it. It's in there, dude. Or do you get like super excited when you're in front of a mic? Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit. With you, and this is something I absolutely do not have. I mean, I have it a little bit with the podcast thing, and it's kind of practiced. But when you get in front of people or in front of a microphone, you turn on like to another level that I can't possibly comprehend, because I don't know how to do what you do when you're in front of people or in front of a microphone.
I don't know if it was all of the public speaking that I did and the different things I did in the venues that I worked, that I was asked to speak. In the start, I literally shook my ass off and was scared to death. And I don't know when it changed, but doing different things for the National Ski Patrol and different venues that I worked in, I remember being in Idaho Falls, and I was presenting awards and asked to do kind of a closure to the whole thing. Now this might sound stupid.
It does. I'm just kidding.
But anyway, I just remember walking up to that mic and looking down and looking at my son's mother and many of the people that were my associates, and I was to do this whole presentation. And I just remember walking up there and going, I don't give a shit. I'm going to say what I want to say. I'm going to be who I want to be. I wrapped up my notebook, I threw my papers away, and I just went up and I started to speak. And all I talked about is what this whole thing was about that we were doing. And I went to walk away, and I can remember, gosh, I don't dare say names, but
Frank, my go-to Frank.
Mike, but anyway, he was literally the director of the National Ski Patrol.
Which you later became. Or not the director.
No, I was the director of the Sundance Ski Patrol.
Okay.
And anyway, he walked up to me and he said, don't walk away. Everybody's loving this. And I don't know
how
why.
do you go back? Did you go back?
I didn't want to, but I did. And what I ended up doing was talking about everything we were talking about, but then I got in a joyful mood and I started.
You had one of these on the dais, I'm sure.
I probably had 4 or 5 under the desk. But anyway, I went back up there and I started over, but this time I went in a joyful mood and I went back to what the venue was about, and then I don't know if I made up the jokes, I don't know if I invented them in my brain, but I ended up walking out of there with people just going like, this guy is great.
So that gave you the bug for it a little bit, maybe.
Turned on the light bulb, and after that point, with all the other things that I did, speaking in front of crowds, I learned a lesson. Don't be afraid. You don't need a damn note. Just know what's in your brain. Talk about what's in front of you. If you need to read names or something like that, bring up a damn secretary. Let her read the names.
Yeah.
And I found freedom. And yes, I took drama in college, and I kind of excelled in it, but this kind of convinced me of what speaking publicly is, and in front of a mic or something else. Don't be afraid. Don't be anything. Just hang on to your belt, hang on to your stomach. I don't care what you do. just let yourself be you.
That it's scary thing for me because I'm pretty volatile. So
well, it's a transition, and I can't explain all things. I can't explain how I became just somebody that I would always cheer with you.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but I thought we should do that at some point.
I always, since that point in time, have just learned that unless you're speaking rhetoric and unless you're talking out of the other end of your body.
So if you believe what you're saying, there's no reason to be afraid about saying what you believe.
Say it. And you know what? The beauty comes out of the mouth. The stupidity comes out of the other end. And it depends on how honest you want to be with yourself, how honest you want to be with the people you're speaking with. If you're trying to sell a piece of crap to somebody that isn't worth 49 cents, you might as well fold up your your suitcase and walk out. But if you believe what you're saying, say it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I know.
No, you're good. You're good. I get it, like, because it's the same way with me, and I would go up and stand behind that mic, and I would be the color of a lobster, and then also shaken like a dog shitting peach pits. So yes, I'll keep that one forever. But I can go up and I'll be the first one on stage sitting behind my drum kit in front of 100, anywhere from 1 to 100. I mean, a lot of the shows we do are small, but once I get behind that drum kit, there's that comfort zone. That's the weird thing, because it's practiced, and it is just a matter of saying, I believe this, I'm doing it. And so I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, even though the drums aren't like verbal and there's no like message and da-da-da, but once you're like convicted in the process, you can go up there and you can sit in front of people and be like, you don't have to listen. I know you can leave. I'm not going to get mad. I don't even see you, to be honest, is what it is. The second you can just lose the fact that that's where it's probably different, because you need people to be engaged when you're speaking. But as far as music, I can go up there and just be like, this is all mine right now. And it gets me pumped. It's weird, because I'm such an antisocial, hide in a hole type of dude, but I can get in front of a ton of people when I'm sitting behind a drum kit. I don't know, it's weird.
Okay, maybe it's a forte of a sort, but if you walk out on a stage and you walk on a stage behind your drums, I walk up to a microphone.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, believe it or not, it's like
get up on it.
holding down a screen that you're going to watch pictures on or something, but it's black.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody behind you has disappeared. Everything in front of you has disappeared. And then you realize you're in this box on your own. And then when you start your forte of sort, what does it really mean? Well, if nobody can see you from the front, nobody can see you from the back, it doesn't matter. You just go into yourself. And that's where the beauty of being the best of what you do comes from. being able to blank out what's looking at you, forget their reactions. Yeah, you might want to take a peep sometime and see what they're looking at.
Yeah, stay on that thing.
Okay. Ben keeps telling me I have to suck this thing. And
so here's the thing, listening to podcasts, when I hear, I sometimes will stop listening to them if the stuff goes, like if people are in and out and in and out and in and out, and they're constantly like emoting over here, and then they're back on the mic, and then they're over here. It's like, I can't you keep turning, like, especially when you're driving, you're just working your volume, and I'm doing it right now. And shit, who knows? And I'm no audio expert. I just know what I like to listen to, and I've got the headphones on, so. And I just totally fucking steamrolled your story.
No, that's fine. I'm just saying, sometimes you just have to roll inside of yourself and blank out the rest of the world, and whatever comes out might be good, it might be bad, but if you don't do what's inside, and if you keep looking out to those, the audience or what the hell ever they are, for answers, you're gonna fail. It has to come out of you.
You know, and that's something I believe, you know, I'm giving you microphone advice, and I am not taking it myself. But anyhow, as far as
me to eat this thing,
that's what they say, eat the mic. But as far, you can tell, you pick up on that when you're listening to somebody, say a comedian, or if you can see somebody on stage and it's not genuine. I mean, you can see, even if I was freaking out and putting on a hell of a performance, you could tell if I was faking it. You know what I mean? You could see it from the front. Probably, I mean, most people watch me, but if you're watching the front man and he's not genuinely invested in what he's doing, believes what he's doing. So it's like, and this is where I don't bite on a lot of pop music, because a lot of that shit's written for them, and they just go out there and perform it because it's their job. And then you get to go and see their concert where they get to go essentially fake a performance. Whereas if you're, is that kind of where you're going with it, when you really are invested in it?
You know, this is probably a twist.
Okay.
But I have direct TV and
just kidding, it's not even plugged in.
But they've been doing a lot of Tim McGraw and Faith Hill.
I don't know who those people are.
They're probably two of the greatest little country singers that ever lived. She's probably the sexiest little shit that ever walked this planet.
So, okay. All I want for Christmas is a Faith Hill. A Faith Hill.
You're going to twist up my story. No.
Okay, all right.
No. They're not lovers. They've just been friends forever.
No, I think they're married. I'm not bullshitting you.
No.
Do you want me to Google that shit right now?
Hell, you can Google it and you'll find out you're an asshole.
Okay, keep going with your story. I did just to be an asshole.
But I don't know. I had a scenario going here, but this damn scotch is kind of like twisting your brain in a nut bolt. You know.
It's actually starting to spark me a bit. Yeah. It's a
you
nice.
Actually have a spark.
Yeah. It's. Okay, it's nice to have a drink. Like what we were talking about when you were making these, I was like, I mean, because you made it really tough, right? And
I made it tough.
Was it tough? I don't know if that's tough for that dude.
It's kind of like taking a puppy out on its first walk.
Faith Hill and Tim McGraw are married.
Oh, I never.
So you saw the chemistry between them and thought, ain't that something special? They're singing a bunch in there. I mean, it's obviously through the community. Whatever, they're dumb.
Oh my gosh, this isn't going anywhere. This is kind of like talking to a dog that doesn't listen.
But this...
And I don't have a dog whistle.
God, yeah, you're right. Those things, dude, are you telling me this isn't tough? Because we're circling back to the beginning of the podcast when we explained what this drink was. And anyhow, we don't need to talk more about that. Well, let's talk about this fishing pole. Because we talked about it on one and my camera died on me. So we're going to talk about it again. Because isn't that a fucking nutty looking fishing pole?
It's a tip up.
But it's 100% homemade.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to release it to show you how it works.
Well, we don't need to see how it works. Just explain the thing.
Okay. There's supposed to be a flag on one end.
A flag? What for? Oh, so you can see when you're biting. So the line, that's my fault. I'll dick with it, but keep talking.
Okay, you drill a hole in the ice. God, I can't believe my kids.
What the hell does that, really?
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah, pretty much. And
what do you just set it?
Goes on it, sits over the ice hole.
So did you just tape this on there for storage? The tip?
No, I think I repaired that one.
Okay, so this is it. Okay, whatever. It's pretty gnarly.
God, that kid has so much experience that I'm afraid he can't remember how to pull up his underwear.
I just figured this fucker out. Sorta.
Don't pull my eye out with that.
So why did you make this? Did you not have a ice fishing pole or what?
I have 3 or 4 ice fishing poles.
But that's what this is for, right? You made this to ice fish with.
Yes.
Is it a...
And you lay it over the ice hole. What's that old joke? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Something about kicking the bear in the ice hole.
I don't have it.
Pee in the ice hole. I don't know.
Do you want me to Google ice hole joke? I don't think we need to.
No. But I used to do a lot of ice fishing, and yeah, I made some different finagled things, and nothing like ice fishing. I couldn't get my kids out on the ice.
I don't like it.
No, most people are afraid of it.
No, not being out there, just being like sitting in the cold. So when you're doing stuff in the cold, it's all good. Snowboarding, riding around on sleds and
if you'd have been up there with my brother and my nephew.
But who wants to grab a fish when it's ice cold?
You don't grab shit.
Really? You just dump them in a bucket?
Yeah, they unhook easy. Because the hooks are only this big.
No, I can understand having like a ice fishing shed, like one of those portable ones or whatever. But
we had a tent. Ours was a warming tent. But shit wasn't.
Well, I don't think I ever went with you when I was in a tent.
The last time I went was with my brother and my nephew and his daughter, which was a total kick in the butt. Which would be my, niece?
Who?
Niece-in-law.
With
Brad's daughter.
Your great niece? I don't know how that works. Yeah, I think.
Well, anyway.
You're her great uncle.
Anyway.
Your second uncle. Second
we
cousin.
Went up to fish
12th relative.
We ended up fishing 3 different lakes on that trip. 2 different motels and...
Really?
Yeah.
When was this? It must have been years.
3-4 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And you talk about catch fish. We fished Fish Lake. We fished Mill Meadow. We fished Forsyth in Utah. And we literally came home and 90% of the fish we caught were perch, and I'm going, I ain't cleaning them suckers.
Did you keep all of them? They did?
Most. But I end up at Nick's house, and that's where my truck is parked. And I said, hey, I don't need hardly any of these fish, okay?
If you'll clean them, I'll take more.
No. It's like, I don't need them. Just give me a handful. I'll take care of them. I go home, and my brother and Brad had screwed me so bad.
They gave you all of them?
I reached in the back of that pickup, and I couldn't even lift that sucker out of there. There was probably 75 perch, 20 little white bass things. And
at least it was cold. Your garbage can didn't have to stink, right?
I was so pissed. I'm serious.
But okay, if you had a shit ton of perch cleaned up, ready to go.
Oh, delicious.
Are they?
Oh,
because I don't think that we've really ever done that.
Well,
I mean, we don't.
Normally, I just say, I ain't dealing with it.
It's trout, and that's about it, right?
Trout, and possibly a walleye or a catfish or something. But
yeah. Oh shit! I would love to get into some of those catfish. Well, I mean, what do you gotta wait till like spring?
Yeah.
Around here.
We're gonna do it if I'm alive.
Around here. Okay. Let's talk like let's talk catfishing. I'm gonna talk like you, and you talk like me. We're gonna get on down there. We're gonna get them catfish.
I think he's talking like somebody I don't know who he's talking about.
Oh, ain't that some bullshit? See, these son of bitches always think I sound like somebody I don't. No, I don't have the depth that you got. It goes into a higher register. But
well, that comes from labels.
Yeah. So as soon as I get them, I'll come back, and that whole thing will be like, all right, y'all, this here's a story about a man that started a fire, and that fire was on a mountain, and that mountain was also on fire, and guess what? That man took every animal off that mountain, and he ate them. Holy fuck, that went weird.
I do not like The Office, besides so far.
Sound exactly
I have pricked into foolish honesty and love. Though he might think that he has the lower voice, he has not a clue of who I am. I am the gremlin of low voice.
Trust me, old man, I believe that I can get down to the depth. No, I can't do it.
Scratch me balls and kick me halls, and I shall tell you the story of the other end.
Can this be a weekly segment where we try to out-deep each other?
Roly-poly, tickle me holy, up me slimy slew, dragging me balls across the halls. I'm one of the sporty crew. Now the first of mate, she up and said me, as big as the sea. The ship sail in, the ship sail out, and never bother me. Oh, roly-poly, tickle me holy.
Okay, we got it. We get the picture. But no, that's.
I destroyed this.
Well, no, what would you call that if it was a segment? Because I think it's good where we battle. I imitate. It's funny. I can imitate you, and you can imitate me imitating you. But it'll be the same every time. But then I think if we hinge it on like a decent enough topic, it could be kind of fun.
I talk about the lovely ladies I used to love?
Who the fuck is that?
I should tell you about the things my son has done.
Oh, no.
You see, he has not a high voice, and he has not a low. You must be able to go high and low.
And that's your drama background kicking right back in, isn't it? I mean, kicking right back in, isn't it?
Yeah, I remember sending them drama backgrounds. Wow.
What? Sending the drama backgrounds? Well, that made about as much sense as a fucking...
some of the things that happened in drama. Let's make a fight scene.
Okay.
So I get picked by this glorious, glorious, beautiful woman. I damn near married that lady. We go up.
So she could have been my mom? Never mind.
No, this is...
whatever.
Oh, God, I don't even want to go into that story, but I might. I have to run in the bathroom.
I don't know what that means, but...
No, I don't. I guess I really don't want to go there.
No, you're fine. You know, we've talked about it, you know, a lot. What do you want to say? Merry Christmas? I think let's go enjoy the rest of our evening. It's still early enough that we can do so. We came down here early, so.
Number one, I had my family, only missing one, and I loved every minute of it, and I want to tell my son and my other son, my daughter and her husband, and all the grandchildren.
And your other son. You have 3 sons.
Well, one son was not here.
Oh, okay. So, do you think that... I don't think they listen to this, to be honest with you. But anyhow, I'm stepping on your toes, and it's a dick move, and I apologize.
No, it was like Thanksgiving to me, and I'm thankful that we had Christmas Eve, I guess, together, and tomorrow we're going to have your 2 youngins and watch them open up the gifts. A little different than everybody being in the house, but God bless us. God bless the reason for Christmas. God bless the reason we appreciate Christmas. The gifts and all of that are fantastic, but sometimes you have to look back in your heart and realize what it's all about. And to me, it's what the Savior gave us and what God gave us is love yourselves, love your neighbor, love your life, love the joy of the fact that I don't know how to say it. It's just thank you for everything.
All right, just
Okay, I probably went too far.
No, absolutely not. No, what I'm piggybacking on it. So how I feel about it is, it's one of those things where you'll go a whole year without seeing people, and then at this time you get to see those people that you don't typically get to see, and you love those people and you love being around them, and you understand. I mean, I can definitely feel it based on the mood that we're in right now. Just seeing the people that we got to hang out with today, how that affects you in a positive way. And just the fact, I mean, some people call this a bullshit holiday. It's all for capitalism. I mean, and you know, there's some of that in there. And yeah, there's a lot of fucking money spent. But the positive end of that is it brought a bunch of people together that don't get together a lot. And it's awesome.
Correct.
Okay. So, I mean, if you want to throw anything else on this, you can. If not, I'm going to shut it off, and we're going to go enjoy the evening.
All right. I'll give you 10 seconds.
Let's have it.
Thank you for bringing us together. Thank you for my family being here. Thank you for the fact that I just want the world to know I love them and everything about this life. If you can't enjoy what's around you, then kick it in the ass, throw it out the door, start over. But you're making a mistake. Bring it all back. Love your children. Love your family. Love your life. Love your own life. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Beautiful.